morning, everyone. Today we are going to do a bit of a garden tour. My hair is wet because I just unscrewed the little nozzle from the hose and soaked my face and the rest of me. So you will see I have my earth boxes planted, and right there I have some more tomatoes and some herbs that need to go in the ground. I did not water them before Matt put them away last night, so some of them are a little droopy this morning, but we are going to cross our fingers and hope that they bounce back shortly. So I will take you to the main part of the garden now. So here are the garden beds that were left by the previous owners. They definitely need some work, but we were running out of time this year to get them fixed. So we are planting and crossing our fingers. Here's my helper. Jack has been super helpful with weeding the garden beds before we planted and planting. You're gonna use my gloves? Yeah. Oh, you got them for me, thank you. Right now he is going to be picking slugs out of the garden and on the side of the garden. I don't know if you can see them or not. Ew, that's so gross. Okay, so here in this, yeah, just put them in the wheelbarrow. So in this bed we have yellow, which side is which, Jack, do you remember? I think Kennebec potatoes are over here, the white ones.
Yellow over here and red over here.
And I think, I don't remember if these are called red Norland potatoes. I feel like they are, but I can't remember. I don't even know if that's a potato variety. Anyways, these are storage potatoes, and these are an earlier potato, I think.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, the yellow ones are the storage ones. And then in the middle we planted green beans. I looked it up, apparently it was okay. At least the source that I used said it was okay. Over here we have sun gold cherry tomatoes and a grape tomato plant, as well as peppers, and I have cucumbers over here and summer squash here, and then I planted some cilantro, parsley, and dill right here. I like to overplant my garden beds. And around the squash I plant, or cucumbers, I plant radishes, so those are coming up. And I plant the radishes to keep squash bugs away. If you have seen any of my garden posts in the past, 6 or 7 years, I've had some issues at the old house with squash bugs and cucumber beetles, and the radishes I have found tend to keep those away until the seedlings are sort of set and rooted well. However, in this garden I have some sort of a new bug to deal with. Do you see that little black dot? I have no idea what it is, but if you look at the leaves, you will see that they are eating the leaves. I don't know if it is a flea beetle or if it's some sort of an aphid. They just seem so tiny and they jump. So I don't know what it is. They're eating my peppers too, but I do plant peppers in the earth boxes. Look at that, they've only been in the garden for, what, like a week? Did we plant last Tuesday, buddy?
I don't know.
I think Tuesday or Wednesday.
What's this?
That's a radish. So that is this bed, which it's all an experiment this year because it's a new garden, new soil. Onions, cabbage, red cabbage my kids like, or purple cabbage, and then we have carrots in here that are not coming up yet. Oh, maybe they are. There's one little sprout. Could be a weed, I don't know. And then kale I've always had really good luck with, but again it looks like something is getting at it. I don't know, maybe it's just been too dry, but it looks like something is sucking out the good stuff from the roots. So again, we'll see what happens. And then over here I just have a bunch of tomatoes. I have Romas and I have beefsteak tomatoes, I think, like slicing tomatoes. I love canning tomatoes, and so that's why I have the Romas. It's always up in the air how well they produce. So, again.
This one is a basil.
Yeah, oh yes, I did put some basil in there, and something is eating the basil. Not this basil, but that one. Something is eating that basil. Alright, let's go to the next place. Because I really love planting lots of things, I knew that those 4 beds were not going to be enough. So I started digging on this little hill that we have too for winter squash and pumpkins. I love to have pie pumpkins. They make the best pies, pumpkin bread. Years ago I would can pumpkin butter, which apparently you're not supposed to because of nobody can get it hot enough. So it was really good. I mixed a can of that in with my muffin mix that I make, my just general muffin recipe to make pumpkin muffins, and they were really good. So, alright, I will show you what we've dug on the hill. Alright, so we have, I think, pie pumpkins here. Here is delicata squash, spaghetti squash, and in the back is acorn squash. I definitely need to get fence up because we have deer, and I probably didn't plant these far enough apart, but I figure we have plenty of space around, so my hope is to just train them to go in one direction. Everybody can go in a different direction. And then down here, we still have to dig up some more. I am going to put strawberries here. I'm going to dig up another bed and we'll have to put fencing around it. The kids always want to grow strawberries. Last year they did a pretty good job, and the strawberries were really good in the garden last year, before the deer ate everything else. And this is what I use to dig up all of my garden beds. I have used this for the past 12 years, I guess, 13 of planting gardens. It's a workout, but it gets the job done, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping Matt would have time to do it before he went back to work, but he did not, so I will be doing that. I also dug those out, but those are really small, so. Now I will show you what I have planted in our pots. I do still have, like I said at the beginning, I need to get some more pots because I ran out of pots. I always buy lots and lots of vegetables, seedlings, and seeds. I have so many seeds to plant. I still want to plant zucchini. I might actually put those up on the hill too. I have plenty of compost for it. So I like to be over-prepared on the seedlings. Okay, so here are cucumbers. I'm not sure if they are slicing or pickling. I think these are slicing cucumbers. Slicing cucumbers and pickling cucumbers. Technically in the earth boxes you're only supposed to have 4 plants in the back for cucumbers, but I planted like 8 plants in groups instead of one, 4 in a row. I don't know how they'll do, but I planted them before I realized what I was doing, so. But I do love these earth boxes. They're self-watering containers. I've had them since we moved into the old house. I got them, I guess, in 2007. And they come with amendments, and if you get good soil, I buy this Pro Mix, which is a little on the expensive side, but there's never any sticks or plastic or any other crap. I get this at my local garden center, not from Lowe's or Home Depot, because I find that their soil is not as good. So here I have green zebra tomatoes, which I think is my favorite variety to grow. They are so good. And Better Boy, they're an earlier one, I think. Now I don't know. they're kind of like mid-range, I guess. These are jalapeno peppers, and these are red bell peppers. I do plant peppers in the garden. They never grow. I always have extras. They never grow. But I've always had really good luck in the earth boxes. I will plant like the jalapenos, and I'll get 3 or 4 gallon bags usually of jalapenos to just throw in the freezer. And the same with the bell peppers. They grow really well in the earth boxes, and then I can just slice them up and throw them in the freezer for the winter. Those and onions, super easy to preserve because you don't have to cook them at all first. You just have to put them in a bag and throw them in the freezer. So having stuff to throw in a saute or in chili, I usually throw a couple of whole jalapenos in the chili. I don't even slice them up, I just wash them and throw them in the bag whole. I'm trying to think of other easy preservation. Same thing with rhubarb. You can just chop rhubarb and throw it in the freezer for when strawberry season comes, so you can make strawberry rhubarb jam or strawberry rhubarb pie, or you can just make rhubarb pie, which is what I prefer. Yeah, and then I have a couple more plants down there, which I will show you. So these are the strawberry plants, and they probably should have been planted before now, but they are more like something that will do better in the second year, I believe. So I'm going to plant these, and we'll get a few strawberries this year, and then hopefully we will put them to bed in the fall with like straw and cover them really heavily so that they come back in the spring. And then over here I have 6 more Roma plants, which I think I'm going to get just some boxes. I think I'm going to just get some pots, some small pots, and keep them on the deck. And then I do have my very sorry chocolate mint plant, which is really struggling today, and also another cucumber and rosemary and sage. So when I was bringing this out from the garage, I actually dropped it, and so we'll see how everything goes. And then for the gardens that were already here, I really wasn't sure what everything was. I'm still not sure. I know peonies, I have no idea what this is. These are chives. This is oregano and sage, more chives, rosemary, and I don't know what the rest of these things are, but I am planning on putting mint in the ground and maybe digging up some of these other things. If anybody knows what like this stuff is, if it's an herb, let me know so that I don't dig it up. This is different. Some sort of, I don't know what that is. I don't know what these are. I don't know what this is either. That might actually be lilies, maybe? Daylilies? No, I don't know. And then this over here as well. I don't know. I don't know what any of these things are, but I know the culinary herbs because I use them. And I actually bought the sage and the rosemary before I knew that these were already here. So when we bought the house, it was winter, and I didn't know what was under the snow. And then I have more peonies over here, and these purple flowers, which are really pretty. And this, I think my mom said, is a columbine. I don't know. I know nothing about flowers. I do know that I have a lovely dandelion growing in the middle of it that probably ought to be weeded out. And then over here I have irises, which I'm super excited about. I had irises at the old house. These are the little ones. I had the giant purple irises, but I am happy to still see these. This is, I think, a lilac bush, only these white flowers don't have any scent at all. So if anybody knows what these are, lilacs are my favorite flower, and these look like lilacs, and the bush looks like a lilac bush, but you know, lilacs are usually purple, and these are white and have no scent. So maybe these are like the unscented lilac varieties. I have so many weeds that I have to take care of. And then, yeah, I think this is about everything. So that is the garden tour at the start of the year. Everything's nicely weeded, well, in the vegetable gardens anyways. And the flowers are starting to come out. The people that own the house before us, they took really good care of the grounds and have a lot of really nice things around, which I'm super happy about. You know, finding a nice piece of property with well-established herb gardens and flowers and bushes. It's not as common around here, so to have all of that already done for me makes me super happy. I just need to figure out what everything is and then figure out how to take care of it. I'm not usually a flower person. I leave that to my mom because she makes the most beautiful flower beds and gardens. She does such a great job with that. I am more of a vegetable person. I find that they are a lot more forgiving. So yeah, but thank you for taking a tour of my garden, and I plan to continue to update everybody on the progress because I like to have that record for myself. That's why I blog about gardening, because I want to see what happened. It's actually kind of funny when I will see the new pests at the old garden, when I would look at the date and look at the year before, and I would be writing the same thing, and I would think, oh, this is so early for these pests to come. But nope, it wasn't. It was the same exact time as the previous year. So I'm not a master gardener or anything like that, but I do really enjoy putting things in the ground and providing for my family that way. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.